All right, in this video, let's talk about the group project, but let's talk about group projects in general first, okay? I know that whenever I give a group project in my classes, I get moans and groans and eyes roll and like I totally get it. When I was in college, I was the one who did all the work because I wanted the grade, okay? So I made sure that things got done. And it was a little irritating because there's always the big complaint about group projects is what? It's a slackers, right? Don't be a slacker, but you know what I mean. And so I've set up a strategy for running group projects that actually has worked out really, really well. I'll share that with you as we go through the assignment itself. You're welcome to adopt it or not, or add in your own things that work really well. I will tell you that I have not in 24 years figured out the secret of creating successful groups. I honestly believe it's like a random thing. Okay. Some groups click socially. Actually, that's the key to successful groups, but you don't know that up front. The groups that click socially, that meet at the coffee shop, that have donuts, that connect, that have a chat channel, that Zoom once in a while, whatever the social connection is, they get to know each other. Those are the groups that do really, really well. The groups that they meet for 30 minutes before class once in a while, they don't do so hot. And I've arranged groups in every way possible. Every way possible. I've done it alphabetically. I've done it randomly. I've done it by the high achievers and the low achievers, the mixed achievers. I've done it by topic areas, like you name it. You name it. I've done it. The key is the social component. And maybe that's why it's in this unit, in this module, because there is a big social component to this kind of learning. So let's jump over and let's take a look. So when you're in the module, click on this 5E instructional model, a group collaboration. And so this is one of the learning theories that you're going to learn about. And there's some information here about this 5E instructional model. And it's a model that makes a lot of sense. Engage, explore, explain, elaborate, evaluate. You probably already do some of this, all right? But in this assignment, we're going to ask you to be explicit about these different pieces: engage, explore, explain, elaborate, evaluate. So let's come down to the assignment part. So you've been assigned a group to work in, okay, and I totally randomized it. Like I had no idea. I didn't know all you guys, so I had no basis for creating groups. And so I let Canvas take care of that. I will say that if you find out that you're in a group and the people are MIA, like you're the only one there, let me know and I can pop you over into a different group. So here's what you're going to do. And we're going to go to the group page here in a minute. But in your group's discussion forum, follow these steps. So I always have students kind of set the stage for a successful group. So as a group, determine the best method of communicating. Is it email? Is it through Canvas? Is it, I can make you a Discord channel just for your group. You let me know and I can set that up with no, lickety split. Text messaging? Are you going to make a Facebook group? Like whatever it is, what's the best method for your group of people to communicate? All right. How will you be most responsive? So that's the first thing you have to decide. The second thing, as a group, you're going to choose one of these following topics or phenomena or problems and apply this 5E model to this. So you're going to create, it's kind of weird. It's at a week-long lesson. And I don't know, in community college, I don't really do week-long lessons. But anyhow, whatever you want the unit to be, but it has to have all these 5 parts. You decide on the time frame, okay? It can be like, if you meet every day, if you meet once a week or twice a week, however you guys want to structure that. And so there has to be about 15 to 30 minutes of engagement time each day or each class meeting, depending on your age group or depending on your level. So there's a bunch of random questions here that you can choose from. I always like to give this all of the above or none of the above option, group determined topic. So if you come up with a topic of similar scope that you all can agree on, use that one by all means. So the next one is decide on the grade level or age group. Who's your target audience? We do have some people in here that are K-12. We have some that are community college. We have some that are university. And so you decide what the target level is for this project. And then this is the part where I've found that it really helps to hook the students. And there can be multiple people in each role. Decide how you're going to split up the work. So in my classes, these are the roles that I ask them to take on, because I usually do groups. I usually have groups of like 4 to 6. I don't have huge groups. And so decide who the project manager is. The project manager isn't the one that does all the work, but they might be the one that gets a little edgy if some deadlines start slipping. Like, okay, guys, it's getting close to the due date. Like, if that's your personality, this is probably a good job for you, because your job is to touch base with the team members on a fairly regular basis and just know where they are and see if there's any roadblocks you can remove. Are they having some tech problems that you can help with, or that you can connect them to someone that can help with? That's your job. And so I have my project managers, when the group has a meeting, I have them email me just a report, like, what'd you guys do? Who showed up and what happened? It doesn't have to be big and long and detailed, but that's the project manager's job, is they report the meeting notes. Next, I always use a wiki, and in Canvas, it looks like the wiki is called Pages. And so the wiki wizard in my class learns how to use all those features. Their job is to be the tech expert on that. Now, they might not know anything about it coming into this, but their job is to learn about it and to help their team members figure that out, how that works. If there's a presentation involved, I have a slide coordinator. Everybody's responsible for their own slides, but somebody's got to put them all together. And so that's the slide coordinator. And like the wiki wizard, the slide coordinator is the one who understands the tech or learns the tech, is willing to learn it and share that with other people. The interpreter, this is an interesting role, and it's a pretty important one. Not everybody's going to read all the details. Like, you just know that's true, right? The interpreter's job is to read all the details, to figure out all the ins and outs, to ask the professor, ask me any questions they might have to help understanding. And then their job is to field questions from their group about the project. So they're kind of an intermediary there. They field questions from the group, and then they give me the questions. So that keeps me from getting 8 questions from one group that are all the same question, but they didn't talk to each other to figure it out first. So the interpreter's job is to be the filter to me, and then I can give the information back to them for them to share with the group. That's been really effective, because otherwise, like I said, you just get these people that one off, they don't bother to ask anybody. They just message me, and I'm answering the same question over and over and over, where they could have found out on their own. And this last role, honestly, this is the most important role in any group, the snack organizer. A little bit harder to do that online, but you could get creative about that. The snack organizer doesn't bring all the snacks. They just set up the snack schedule, because who doesn't want donuts when you're doing a group meeting? So maybe the snack organizer, if you guys decided to do that, could say, we're going to have maybe today's hot chocolate day, or I don't know, you guys decide. You can leave that in or leave it out. So those are the roles that I use, and it's not all inclusive, but it seems to work pretty well. I've used it for quite a while. And then decide who's going to submit the URL. And I'm going to try to show you that. If all the tech works, I'll be able to show you how to get that. There'll be a URL to your wiki, and it's going to get submitted here so that I can go directly to your wiki and see what you're doing. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the group's wiki pages in Canvas to explain your lesson. So you're going to come up with a lesson. Everybody's going to take a piece of it or work as a team on pieces of it. And this is going to be the group part. The group part's going to be in the wiki. But as in my own projects, or my own group projects, I always have an individual component. And so the individual component is you're going to leave a comment for me answering the following reflection questions. What did you enjoy about this assignment? Yes, it's possible to enjoy a group assignment. What would you change about the assignment? This is feedback, like how would you make this assignment more effective? Which learning theory do you think you will use most, and why? And in reality, we combine a lot of different things when we're teaching. However, you'll probably predominantly find yourself leaning towards one. Okay, so let me know what you think that is and why you think that is. And then review the rubric to ensure you're meeting the group's expectations. So down here in the how-tos, there's a whole bunch of how-to resources, how to use the rubric, how to leave comments, how to submit the URL, lots of little how-to things. And here's the rubric down here. So let's jump over to the group pages. And you know what? It's entirely possible that I'm in student view. I might have to kick out of student view for this. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. So let me get out of student view. Sorry about that. I should have thought about that. And now let me go to, no, wrong link. See, you're not the only one. Here's how I've been going to it. I go to the people page, and then there's virtual study groups. So there's a lot of them. So I'm just going to pick one at random, and I'm going to visit the group homepage. Hey, group 12, I'm in your page. So here's the page. So announcements, just to let you know, if you post to announcements, everybody in your group gets it and I get it. I discovered that. So I'm getting all the announcements people are posting in their groups. If you go to discussions, this is where so somebody's already started a discussion. Very good. You know, just checking in. So you should check in. You might start a discussion thread for each of the 5 E's. That might be an easy way to keep that organized, but it's up to you guys. You can put files up here. There's lots of things you can do, but pages are really where you're going to create your wiki. So I'm going to add a page. I'm going to do plus page. Title, let's see. You can name it whatever you want. I'm going to call it weather project. This is the weather project. Okay. It's very profound, huh? And then save. And this becomes your first page. Now, when you need to get the link, the URL, and there's another video, that little video I showed you, that link, this is the link up here that you want to give me. So whoever's going to give me the URL for your group, that's the link that you need to go on there. And so you can edit pages, you can add pages, you can do all kinds of things on here. Okay, let me go back to edit. Let's scroll down here. Anyhow, so there's lots of things you can do. I need to learn a little more about how the wiki works, so I'm going to go back and watch the video that I told you guys to watch. In the group project, when I do group projects, I usually split it 50-50. 50% is the group grade, 50% is the individual grade, and the group grade's variable. So you might have a group of 5 people, and one person just doesn't really pull their weight. Like the other 4 are doing really good, but because of the one person, the group grade gets pulled down to, like, I don't know, let's say a 75%. I use that group grade as a baseline to go up or down. So slacker person, they might only get a 30%. If they only checked off 30% of their stuff, that's what they're going to get on the group part of the grade. Really good people that nailed it, that read their rubric, that checked off all the boxes, that it was obvious they put in the work, they might get a 95 or 100%. So I don't give an absolute group grade. That's just my philosophy. This is why students really like my group project, because they know they get rewarded for their own work. Now, how do I know that? When they do a group project, you can kind of see it, right? You can kind of see who contributes what. So that's part of it. But I also add a peer review in at the end, and I tell them up front, there's going to be a peer review. And in the peer review, it's just between me and them. They get to tell me what they contributed, and they get to report out what their group mates contributed. And I ask a very important question. Would you work with this person again? That's a very telling question. Anyhow, it's really short and sweet, and perhaps I'll pull it out in week 5 or something whenever this project is due, or towards the end, and let you guys do a group peer review just to see how that works in my class. So that's a group project. It's nothing to dread. It's going to be interesting. It allows for a lot of creativity. You get to take on some roles. You get to bring your experience. You get to create something. It's going to be a lot of fun.